What was interesting for me, something that I was determined to do, was to make sure that whatever happened to the story, whatever happened to the script, that the music would be allowed to evolve with that. And in fact, it's worked out very well. When I first met our director last year, we stripped away quite a lot. We stripped away a lot of the material, a lot of the music, which we felt was superfluous. And the whole thing did evolve, you know, small steps. I'd do a bit of recording, and then we together would do a bit of writing for the screenplay. We were inching forward step by step. I've learned, working with Richard, the director, that he has a role very similar to a record producer for me. I need a record producer because I need somebody to bounce performances off. The producer in a studio has a tremendous technical role, but he also is the public. He has to pretend to be the public. We have to attempt to move forward together. It's very similar to recording, where what you're attempting to achieve is it's a catalysm, really. The music in White City is an extension of everything that I've done before. It follows on. The story is a follow-on from Quadrophenia to some way. You know, Jim might be Jimmy from Quadrophenia 20 years on. It's set in the present day with flashbacks to about 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. The film is not meant to be a period piece in any sense. The story is what's important, the story of the relationships and the way in which these two people work out their relationship. In the film, I play very much myself, really. Somebody based on somebody of my age, with my accomplishments. Somebody who has travelled around and come back to try and find, I suppose, some roots. And is surprised, I think, as I was surprised, when I did go back and did my recceing, you know, went round and talked to people, to find that there's a remarkable degree of optimism, particularly among the very young. The two main characters, Jim and Alice, are younger than me, a little bit. My generation, I was born practically the day the war ended. I think I was brainwashed, like so many people of my age, into believing that success was tied up with the pursuit of heroism. And that seems to be very much what the first wave of 60s rock and roll musicians perpetuated. And when I went to look at the kind of story that I wanted to tell, I wanted to talk about people that were breaking those traditions. People that hadn't suffered, if you like, from the same kind of laws that I had. And Jim and Alice are a couple who, Jim, for example, hasn't done what I've done. He hasn't felt the need to escape. He hasn't felt the need to run off and travel the world. He hasn't felt the need to make lots of money. He's not been driven in that same way. He's quite happy to live on the estate and his life completely established in the microcosm that it represents. And she is one of the new breed of women. She thinks for herself, she acts for herself, she doesn't accept the old role. She's a feminist, she's active in the community on her own terms. And I feel that when I look at people maybe 5 or 10 years younger than me, I wouldn't say I'm jealous of them, but I do admire the way that they've started to break with the old traditions, which I do feel very embedded in me. You know, I still feel the best thing that could have happened to me was that I'd have been called up, put in the army and sent out to some battlefield. I mean, people might think that that's sick, but I think I was brought up to do that, trained to do that, and I respected people that did that. My father did it, my grandfather did it, and I had to do it in rock and roll.